Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Horde of the Abyss. It's of course the Forged in Fire campaign. I've had an idea of how we can deal with these dragons. I think it'll be working just fine. We'll have to of course just take a brief little trip back in the portals of destiny here. I think that those Dendroids that we recovered could be the perfect tool for dealing with dragons. Because our defense skill is so absurd at this point that 20 Dendroids might actually be sufficient. I might need to find another mine though to put people in, but where is another mine? Ah, sulfur dunes, there we go. We could shove some armadillos in here. They can have fun rolling about the sulfur. Yes, that's exactly how it all works. Okay. Do I miss anything here? No, should be fine, really. I might have to come back and get some war machines replaced, but this should be sufficient to deal with dragons. I'm a little bit short on mana, that's one potential concern. But we should be fine. Let's do it. Excellent. So begin by casting Shield. And defending. Then we'll start summoning fire elementals and running into the corner. So I'm thinking with the fire elementals they'll be a more tempting target, generally speaking. That's the idea at least. We'll also cast Stoneskin. Could even cast Slayer if we're really excited. But we can just defend. Honestly, this one stack of fire elementals is probably sufficient. Yeah. The elixir of life doing good work for us here. And there we go. We did lose all our war machines, but the dragons are gone, and we gain the Sandals of the Saint. A nomad trader seeks protection from a tribe of goblins. For your assistance, he gives you a finely crafted pair of sandals made from the softest leather. Looking closely, you see fascinating ancient carvings engraved on the leather. These, of course, will raise our strength. We don't really need to worry about our movement speed anymore, let's be honest, considering, we're slightly doing fine. That being said, we probably need to hop back to the, we need to jump back into the portal and grab some additional movement, don't we? We're like down to double digits. There we go. Back up to 90,000. This wasn't entirely where I wanted to go. That being said, this strategy might work well for dealing with, for example, ghost dragons. There were one or two other threats, weren't there? The Pendant of Holiness doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon, but we could get these ghost dragons for another one of those Pandora's boxes. An interesting notion. We've also got those Efreet Sultans hanging out in there. That being said, they may prefer the taste of my Dendroids over my elementals, but we can give it a quick go. If we can handle a number of things, then that's okay. Like I said, we'll give it a quick go. Oh yes. Quick go. Oh, we just auto-complete it anyway. Well, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Let's cast Shield. We'll then cast... No, we don't even need to cast anything, we're fine. We could save a Dendroid. Look at that. We now have another Pendant of Death. Good thing too that Dendroids were actually able to handle that so well, because Yes. We need these pendants of death. We've got 4 of them now. We could actually unlock all of these little places. Do we want to? I mean, we've already got shoes. We could get a helmet. We have already got a shield that's very nice. Could get the Greater Null's flail. And it does look very intended for us to do these things. What was down here again? Defeat the Ghost Dragons. Of course, it's an excellent point. We have actually defeated the Ghost Dragons at long last. So we can probably do some of these things, can't we? Let's hop into this portal. In fact, let's hop into this portal. Pick up some additional movement. Wasn't really the one I was going for, but it'll do. I'll think about this, but honestly, let me know, I suppose, what you think in the comments, but I mean, it will help. It's a little bit, I just don't know if we want these artifacts later. That's the... I guess it's the... I'm falling into the classic dungeon crawler woes, aren't I? In that, like, you know... Oh no, all the pendants of life and death that I have, I can't use any of them, oh no. Oh, we do need to use one of our pendants of life here, which we shall. We can also get access to these obelisks, revealing more of the underground terrain. Interesting. Again, we only know a little bit of volcanic terrain, so it's obviously not somewhere we've currently explored. What's here? Oh, there's Keo. Well, obviously our 12 Dendroids might struggle against this many Dendroids, but now we know where this person is. We could potentially get access to the other one of these things sooner rather than later, which would be very powerful. Of course, I just have to remain cognizant that I have a bonus Statue of Legion. But I think once I've got this one, I can then actually go into this other area legally. Although I suppose, hang on. Not quite. Because to get into the other area here, it means I've needed to clear all 3 of these. Then I can go in that area legally. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. Well, let's carry on. Into the portal. Let's get additional movement. Okay. Do we want to grab the Efreet Sultans now? We do need 2. We don't have any here. Wyverns are the main bottleneck for now, but let's grab the Sultans while we're here. We're going to need them later. You know what, I did say let's look at comments, but I think that we're meant to open these quest gates. Like, we've got literally 4 pendants of death now. We won't need to bother with the shield, obviously, but let's grab some of these other ones. This is very much intended. Okay. We'll grab ourselves the Greater Null's flail. A clumsy Null has killed himself with his own flail. Knowing your superior skill with this weapon, you confidently remove the spectacular flail from the fallen creature. This gives us a nice boost to our attack skill. Over here we're going to get some power. Absolute power. You meet an old armourer who claims he owes you a favour. Taking him up on it, he pieces together some basilisk scales, forming a well-fashioned breastplate. These scales of the Greater Basilisk will improve our power. Ah yes. And here, the Helm of Chaos. Your army is ambushed by a small tribe of wild and none too bright orcs. You fend them off easily and the survivors flee in all directions. One of the orcs was wearing a polished horned helm. Figuring it would make a good souvenir, you take it. The default descriptions are fun. Arguably, they could have actually used custom ones here. Maybe they did in the current version of the map. Because they're actually still making improvements to this thing as they as time goes on. They're like, oh, we could do that. And then they do. But obviously, I'm playing on effectively the 1.7.1 version of the map, which is why we have things like, you know, this problem here. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's carry on. Do we need to do anything else underground for now? I don't think it's going to be a problem, that Pendant of Death thing, honestly. It should be fine. And we got to get a bit more powerful. We will need to top off on our mana soon, because we're... Well, hang on. Let's not forget the Ifrit Sultans. Yeah, we do need to get some more mana. That is a problem. Excellent. Into the portal. And then we'll hop into this one, which brings us back upstairs. We actually don't even need to worry about the Wizard's Well. We can just use this wonderful magic spring here. That will do nice. We actually have another shield here. We definitely didn't need that other shield. I do like having movement speed on my units, though, over the extra stats. But let's have a nice top off. 1410 spell points. That is many spell points. I do appreciate that. Should we have some more movement to wrap it up? Absolutely. Although I'm probably just going to all throw it away by digging a hole, but, you know. We're just really excited to get to that hole. That's all it is. We could at one point deal with these champions too to collect these, like, 1 gems or something, but... we'll definitely be able to do that soon. Let's carry on. Hill forts are what I'm curious about, frankly. Like, you know, what is their purpose? What are they doing in our lives and minds and hearts? First and foremost, we're going to go to the War Machine Factory, actually, to repurchase our war machines. They were all brutally destroyed by the Dragon Realms that we previously visited, which proved to be rather small and disappointing, but did have some fancy shoes. So we'll take those. Alright, over here, let's grab our swarm of creatures. Leaving some behind, of course. Like you. You could stay as well. You can be the Happy Minotaur. Genies can honestly probably stay. I bet the buffs are not terrible. That'll probably do us for now. How happy is this army? They're happy enough. All troops of one alignment. Huh. I thought I was always troops of, like, one town. But we've got good and neutral mixed together anyway. I don't know. Oh, hang on. We visited the Temple of Loyalty, like, you know, moons ago, but, you know, that's actually what's doing it. There we go. Okay, so we do have the Cyclops Kings here. They are certainly interesting. It's probably our next destination, to be honest. Fighting them efficiently may prove challenging on that cursed ground. Otherwise, what do we have? We've got this quest card we can't access. This person wants us to defeat Dryad, which obviously is not possible right now. We can't get at this jaw. There's not a huge wealth of things we can do. Obviously, there is going back to defeat Keo here. Maybe that is the next option. I sort of just grabbed my army and was like, let us sally forth! Which is, of course, a noble... Oh, there's the Pendant of Holiness, which again requires this red border guard. So, okay, we're definitely looking for that red Keymaster's tent. That is our destiny. Okay. Alright, well, we know roughly what's happening. We need the Keymaster here. I do spy a monolith here. I do think this is an interesting place to go. We can obviously drop our army here in this alchemist lab too. That will also be relevant. So who don't we want to bring to this? Because this is just going to be annoying. It's a fight on cursed ground. I mean, I could just cheat. I have an airship. I'm going to leave it. It's here. You know what? We have the power of flight. We can look at these people pondering their rocks and orbs and say, you know what? We do not care. We can fly over your rocks and land on the other side. Oh, it's Winker the Badger. How exciting. If I can be bothered, there's always hopping back to the... I suppose a little bit of crystal and gems, but yeah, this is just easier. We can always hop back to the windmill and the warehouse of Mercury. So it's going to be annoying to not have all of the movement speed I need, but actually having to travel like a pleb. There's yet another dragonfly hive. A homestead. Can't do the homestead. I don't see a reason to do the dragonfly hive now, but there may be in the future. How far further does this road lead? We could use the airship to get here, of course. This is a Keymaster we can't use. A border guard that we can't use. Alright, so this is yet another dead end. Wonderful. Back to the airship. Onward! There is a random stronghold here, Slough, with the man holding all of these orcs and things. Could be potentially interesting. It's probably on stand ground, which means you have to deal with the silly castle. There is a quest guard, there's wolf raiders, there's a garrison holding wood and a stoic watchman. Now, I do believe we have a quest for the stoic watchman here. So this is a way to get back to this town once we've taken it. I think that's the idea. Unless the wood is just like, you know, another few thousand wood just to make it really worth us picking up, which seems unlikely. Okay. This will be an annoying fight, though, to do deathless, because, like, there's a castle here. You know, that's not going to help. They will throw a lot of axes at my poor engineers. I could just bring expendable troops, of course. Or, like, 1 stacks of mechanical units, just earthquake the place to death, block the entrance, locking them inside, forgetfulness the orcs. I suppose we can give it a try, see what happens. Could at least explore the general vicinity. They want to join me. Okay. That's an option. Let's just continue to explore the surrounding area. These guards are placed here to keep out Samachus, a hero of great power and evil intentions towards their people. Until they are defeated, no one shall pass. This guy here. Okay, there's some armadillos we can claim, a wolf pen. Here's the stoic watchman. Oh, hobgoblins apparently need to be defeated. Wherever they are. I don't know. I guess quest log to the rescue. Where are the hobgoblins? That being said, yes, we can open this one up. Where was that other one, actually? Alright, quest guard. This we can open up. That's interesting. This quest guard is for the hobgoblins. The hobgoblins revealed. They're in the middle of Shroud, okay. And finally, this one, obviously. And this last one, which was here. Okay, there's a lot of options here. We should go back to this place. Okay, well, we've at least recruited some wolves, I guess. We can dump them back in the gem pond of destiny. I don't know if we'll do this today, but I think we'll certainly got it as an option for the future. There's a few of these neutral towns that, like, have a lot of things in them. So I'll place that there. We'll carry on for now. Let's go back to our Portal of Destiny. So here we have a defeat ghost dragons. Oh, there's different ghost dragons for this one. Okay. Right. So we've only defeated one set of ghost dragons that would allow us to get that other, this artifact here. And we could certainly do that. The Arms of Legion. Alms for the poor. Okay. But nonetheless, let's carry on. Because we do have Miss Dendroid Woman down here to kill. That's a thing we can do. It's a long ride. Let's, of course, have another save. Quick go. Absolutely. So it's a decisive victory, but nonetheless we want to be careful. Let's see what she can do. With the slowing field in place, the quicksand that we're standing on, then that's already going to make things difficult for her. Does she contain spells? Anti-magic on the bounty hunters is an interesting choice. It may be that AI just literally just ran at the enemy and that's how this all happened, but... Magic mirror on the bounty hunters. Okay. I thought you cast anti-magic on them. Yeah. It's interesting how you're able to cast a second spell in the first place. But never mind. Haste was cast. Just very slow. That's fine. Truth be told, I'm not the biggest fan of how this is going down, but... Wow. Getting caught on that dispels the clone. Interesting. Well, there's a bit of a problem. These guys have been so thoroughly ruined by the anti-magic that the genies put on there. Good start. We'll make have that guy getting bapped. Yeah, the clone gets dispersed by the quicksand. It's hilarious. Guess we can always just lightning bolt them and it only kills one. Cloning is far more effective. That being said, these bounty hunters are doing good work. Oh, right until that moment. Time to retreat. Let's not have that particular outcome, shall we? Let's not anti-magic the bounty hunters. Oh, mirth, the happiest trees. Good fertilizer. That's all it comes down to, really. Okay. Now that the seed has been changed, we should be able to do some more powerful spell casting on these guys. Yeah, precision's much better than anti-magic. Much better. We'll probably cast slow this coming turn, however. Did that automatically stopped again? I'm not sure what... Oh, I see what's happened. My power's being reduced to 1. That's why. She must have incredible interference. Must be like, you know, one of those interference specialists who's got like 1,000,000 levels to reduce my power to 1. That's why my lightning bolt was literally useless. And the slowest to be recast every turn. Fair enough. Well, it's still helping. I suppose it's actually one of those rare moments when the Ring of the Magi would actually help. You know, shock horror, but... So, we want to do another slow, don't we? Yes, we do. Another slow. And also just get in this guy's face. There we go. All is well. Let's go back to cloning these guys. There we go. Kyo is defeated. And we have a conversation. Castor's decided to continue the conversation we had begun about Enroth's distant past.
The masters of the Time of Wonders failed to answer their subjects in their hour of need. You and I are exploring this ancient tomb today. There seems to be no connection, but in fact the reason for these events is the same. It is the Kriegans, or as they're known here, demons. Though these creatures have no affinity with those who inhabit the subterranean depths of elemental planes, and only slightly resemble them in appearance, Castor continued. I couldn't imagine interrupting him, although I wanted to ask and ask and ask. Funny, isn't it? I had once been an all-knowing mentor like that myself, sharing what I considered to be unrivaled knowledge, while the little wiggly girl interrupted me every now and then with her silly comments and clarifications. What a wonderful time it was in our lives, and what a doubly, triply wonderful time it is now. If only I can find Henrietta in these labyrinths. I want her to walk this path with me. The elf seemed to understand what was going on in my head, and went silent at times, letting my mind digest the revelations. But the silence came more than a millennium ago. Had those Kriegans already tried to invade Enroth? That time around they didn't manage to. But before I tell you that part of the story, let me enlighten you about space and planets. Listening to your hypotheses about the origins of demons, I noticed you stuck to the geocentric system of the world, but astrologers and stargazers have long argued about whether the sun revolves around Enroth or its opposite. I, too, am a keen observer of the handling bodies, and I know a thing or two about it. I got indignant, realizing where this conversation was going, but I shut my trap when I saw Castor's face twist in the torchlight. The planet revolves around the sun. That's the only truth. And it is the fact that up there in the sky, every star to the last is also a sun. Many of those suns have also planets revolving around those luminaries. I could prove it to you now were we not underground. Though the tangling charms of these places are so insidious, even I would find it difficult to tell when the next night would come. How long have we been down here? Days? Weeks? Feels like months, I finished his chain of thought. Castor frowned and jotted down something in his book. Oh. The legend continues. Okay. Imagine these distant worlds as islands separated by a vast ocean of stars. And long ago, even I don't know when and where from, ships of a powerful ancient civilization appeared in this ocean. Different sources have different names for them. Gods, makers, ancients. Their interstellar empire expanded, swallowing worlds like a sea dominion absorbs uninhabited islands, building its settlements and fortresses on them. Enroth is just one of those islands, and this tomb is their ship. No, just a small fragment of one. The ancients have other tools that allow them to cross the abyss of the void. In some ways, they're even more efficient than ships. You've no doubt encountered portals. I mean, we stepped through many portals. Of course I have. The art of portal placement is one of the disciplines taught at the Bracadan Academy of Magic. These portals give Bracada a link to hard-to-reach towers and palaces beyond the clouds, nearly impossible to reach by normal means. But the farther 2 points are from each other, the harder it is to create a stable portal between them. That's right. The principle is the same, but these gates cover unimaginable cosmic scale distances. The ancients covered their island worlds of a network of portals that became part of the great tying web of worlds. As long as the colonies were connected, they thrived. And then came the Kriegans. They were strong, had high technology at their disposal, and were characterized by remarkable cohesion, a hive mind akin to that of ants. They were also breeding incessantly and incredibly fast. More and more resources were needed to supply their ominous colonies and hives. So the Kriegans went to war against the Ancients, even though the Ancients tried to negotiate with them at first. Like pirates, the devils ravaged worlds, and once they had looted and killed their fill, they went to do the same elsewhere. The machines the Kriegan used to go from world to world looked like celestial bodies. I remembered the insides of the meteorites I'd seen on that fateful day. But of course, like any ship, they are slow compared to travelling through a portal. The Kriegans are familiar with the principle of teleportation. They can summon beings, they have access to other planes of existence, but they have not yet mastered the art of travelling between worlds as perfectly as the Ancients. Castor went silent. I looked at him and realized that he expected to hear my conclusion. I cautiously began fishing a complete thought out of the ocean of assumptions and hypotheses. The thing that happened was that the Kriegans attacked not only the various worlds, but the very portal system created by the Ancients. That's how contact between the planets was lost. That is correct. The Kriegans infiltrated the gateway system between worlds. The Ancients were able to counter this threat, but eventually the unity of the portal network was disrupted. That damaged the invisible threads that held it together and carried the voice and guidance of the Ancients to countless colonies. The web of worlds was torn apart, and what many planets call the Silence, or other similar words. Orphaned, the colonies found they no longer had a higher power, and the viceroys got into bloody internecine wars. My whole world turned upside down and expanded overnight to the sides of the sky, maybe even further. I needed time to think about it. I'm not entirely sure if I was reading the right voice for each character there, but a good lore dump nonetheless. Thank you all for watching. When we cut back next time, more Heroes of Might and Magic 3.